here we go. There's the back. Bringing it up, that's not too bad. Okay, let's get that sound going so you can hear me. Alrighty, so what do we need to do? We need to grab this body, and we've got that body. We need to get in there and drill those holes. I've got the drill bit too. I've got black hardware. It's got Mr. Glynn's Cruel Mistress vintage telly pickups, brass saddles, bone nut. It's all good. Where the weed at? What's going on? Thank you for the follow. Good to see you. Welcome on in. Who? Okay, so that's that guy there. But that's to show you that copper-looking red cedar when it really gets polished up. It really looks copperish. Come here, little guy. Come here, my little boy. Go on top. So that's what we did there. That back's going to be sensational. That is so smooth. Very smooth. Ha! Absolutely. They are drums. They're percussion instruments as well as stringed instruments. They can be used. If you watch the old flamenco guys playing, the old Spanish guys, they're doing all that stuff. They're going tippa-tappa, tippa-tippa, dum, ring, 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 tippa-tappa, tippa-tappa, dum, ding, dong, bang. So it's all good. What's going on? Hello everybody, welcome on in. Terry, how you doing? Dana, Karen Day is her name and she's here too. Good to see you guys and girls. I've got a bit of a headache today. I'm just recovering, so I'm going to take it easy. I've got a couple of little things to do. We've got some acoustic. I've reset the acoustic body. There was a little problem with the base of the side where the neck was flush up against, so I've had to reset that. That's glued away, and what we're going to do is get this guy down and give it one more coat. That's almost ready, that piece of cake right there. Don't be sorry, Terry, it's not your fault. We are here for yo. Karen Day, how are you? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to take an old favourite of ours and get it ready for the market, because it needs a little bit of tidying up around the fretwork, and I need to restring it with 10s, so we're going to do that as well. Terry will be happy because it means we get to do some grits and some sanding of frets and laying out. I'm going to put some stuff away because I've been working for a few hours now and I'm actually a bit zonked. But I'll keep it short today, about an hour or so maybe. We'll see how we go. If I feel better, if I get my second wind, I'll be right to go. Yes, Dana, we get that. No, not touching Mary. Mary needs lots of finishing work. Mary's got, her front needs lacquer, and I've got about 3 coats, 4 coats. I need another 4 or 5, and that's got to go outside in the middle of summer, not now. I haven't got the right facility to spray, so I can't do Mary for a while. What is happening, Karen? What have you done? Head cold, travelling the last few weeks, but doing better. Oh, that's okay. They're a bugger, I know. They're pains in the backside. Head colds and flu-y things. So hang in there, girl. Hang in there, kiddo. Let's have a look at some cake. That'll cheer up, Karen. We'll get another coat on this guy, and then we'll finish that off. Let it sit there, and in a day or two, we're going to put that guy together. So, yeah, exactly. I'm thinking I'd take Mary to Nifty and spray it, and then Nifty will love it, and Nifty will keep her. Ha! All right, let's grab this guy, show you where we're up to. All right, pop him down here. Let's flick over to the bench. So this guy's looking pretty good. Okay, you can see you've got a nice satin on the back there. It's got about 3 more coats since yesterday. The front's starting to get some sheen going. You can see that grain's really popping now. So, and if we look at the Where have I got that thing? Hang on. I've got to find the pick guard. What do I do with it? I've got to find the pick guard. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. I'll find it. And when I do, I will show you. Probably put it away. Oh, here it is, up here. Why don't we get it out of the way? The pick guard looks pretty good. It's almost to where we want it to be. There's our pick guard. It's looking nice now. Hey? So when we put all that stuff together, it's starting to really come up trumpsy-pumpsies now. Look at that guy. Isn't that special? Isn't that nice? Let's eat cake! They look good together. Yeah, they look okay. I'm going to give this one more coat of oil and then we're done. I've got some screws for this guy that I bought, so I'm going to fit that in there later. But what I'm going to do is give this a light scuff and then give it one more coat. So let's pop that body up here. Let's get the 1200 out and just give that a very light rub. With the 1200, it'll just dull it up a little bit. And then we'll hit it with the oils and it'll go swing. That's the noise it makes. Swing. It's a very natural looking thing, and those wooden knobs that I turned would look really good on it. Karen, did you see the little wooden knobs? Did you see the little volume knobs that we turned? Karen, look at these little guys. They look like little chocolates. Are they little chocolates? Link chocolates. Ha! Volume tone. Not for this guitar, but I do make these now. I've turned a couple little guys. Buckeyes, that's them. Little buckeyes, little deer eyes. Let me grab some stuff. Some stuff. Okay, let me get some gloves on. New box of gloves. New box of double wrap that puppy gloves. Ding. Chuck the old box out. And we grab these out. Get a couple of these on here. Be Bumstead, what's happening, brother? How are you? Dana, what's going on? You going on a break? Good. We need a break. Have a vacation. Mark, you have a vacation too. Actually, I'll have a vacation as well. Let's all go on vacation. How much fun would that be? Would that be hilarious? Imagine this group of ferals on vacation. How funny would that be? Kooky as all hell. Kooky stuff. Let's cut up some tea material. Oh, there's one here. Here's one I prepared earlier. Perfect. Slice that up. There's a lot there. Where can we meet up? Terry, you decide. Anywhere Terry likes, we'll meet up and we'll have a laugh. This will be lovely. want it shiny because we need a bit of contrast. The body's satin, and I want this to be a bit glossier. So I'm going to go a couple of coats of really glossy finish. So go hard, go thick and on it, and really lash out. It's starting to look like walnut a little bit, like a walnut dashboard in a fancy Jag. Or in a little Mini like Karen Day's old Mini. Did your Mini, did you have a Cooper S, a vintage Cooper S? Karen, did it have a fancy wood grain dash? Were you that fancy? Because you're pretty fancy, just quietly. Were you that fancy? There we go. It's all done. Do we like that? It's pretty. Drinks it up. Give that a really glossy wash. Fancy pickguard. Rest for a bit. Pop that away. Let's do the body. The front needs another coat, so I'm going to lightly rub that back. Rubbing it back just flattens the previous surface and it gives it a nicer shine. But we're not going to go full gloss, but we're going to go a nice satin, a bit brighter than that. You almost was it, but the salesman was a chauvinistic ass who couldn't believe I had the cash to pay for such a thing and would only let me look at the stripped down lavender coloured base model. What a sack he was. What a potato sack. Nice contrast, Terry. That's what we're going for. Here, just balance that out. It's almost there now. Looks pretty good. Not going to probably go too much more after this coat because we want that contrast. That's a nice finish. Looks pretty good. Credit application. What a bunch of losers, Dana. What a bunch of losers. His loss, your gain. Archie's in the house. What's going on, brother? Welcome on in. What is happening? I'm going to hit those edges one more time. Look at those edges. Terry, look at those edges. Look at those edges. They look nice. beautiful? Is it beautiful? Yes, it is. Do we like it? Yes, we do. Why am I whispering? It's not even sassafras that I'm whispering. Wet coats. Rub those last wet coats in. Let's get some serious oil on there. Those beautiful horns in there. It's about getting the gloss on those accents. We want that faux binding to really pop too, so. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's do the back. One more coat on the back. Just a light coat. We may not see the back too much, but we do want a few coats on there just for a bit of protection, because it does get things like buckle rash and it gets chipped and knocked and all sorts of things. So a little bit of oil on the back, not so much. I mean, it looks fantastic, but it is to protect it a little bit too, just to get a little bit of a coating on there. Some scratch resistance. I mean, it's if you get a belt buckle to this, it's going to tear it to pieces anyway, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. There we go. That's done. We're going to put this guy together probably tomorrow, guys. What do you think about that? Are you with me? Are we ready to put this guy together tomorrow? Are we? Or are we just pretending? I think we're ready to go. Okay. You like the camphor laurel, Archie? That's good, isn't it? It's pretty beautiful. I've got another piece to show you right now. Let me hang this guy up. Let's have a good look at it from the front and from the back. Okay, the front has got a nice satin sheen. It's looking good. The sides are all nice. The back is beautiful and ready to rock and roll. We'll hang that up, let it cure for a day or two. It should be good by tomorrow. We can actually start putting it together tomorrow. Let me hang it up. The blue guy's resting in there. I'll show you the blue guy quickly. We've got the candy coats on this guy now, so I think it's good to put together. I won't need to do too much more to this. As you can see, we've got candy coats there, shiny as, and we've got candy coats shiny as there. So we're good to put that together as well, and you can see that colour, purpley blue, bluey purple. There's a little bit of purple because of the amber. It is a blue base, but it's gone a little bit purpley, but it's stunning anyway. I'm happy with that. We're going to put that together tomorrow. Yes, Terry, it's nice and glassy, isn't it? Fantastic. It's awesome. The sides are good too. The sides are nice and shiny as well. She's ready to go. I'll hang her up. Hang it up. Hang it up. Ooh. Okay, now I'm going to grab an old friend of ours with a sassafras neck. And a beautiful, beautiful flamed maple. It's a G6. So G6 is the new command, Terry. What's the body? Silky oak body or lacewood, silky oak body. Flamed Queensland maple cap. Sassafras neck. And I think it's a rosewood fretboard. Let me grab it. You'll remember it. This guy, remember this guy? There she is. Flamed Queensland maple, lacewood or sassafras, not sassafras, lacewood or, what do they call it? What's the other name for it? Silky oak, that's it. Okay. And sassafras neck with a rosewood and gold frets. Gold frets for Terry. What we need to do though is set the action on this and double check all the fretwork and get it. It's a little bit bumpy there. I need to get those smoother and get them all nice and polished and ready. The tiger baby, that's the one, tiger. Tiger stripe. Let's pop that down there. Let's change view. Let's put this guy back on and put that all away. Give this a good clean because it's picked up some dust and what have you. We're going to cut the strings and we're going to clean this guy up and get it ready. Gold hardware, gold integrity pickups. They're the PAF 59 copies that Mr. Glynn makes. They sound fantastically warm, beautiful. This brew just collapsed a little bit. I've got to sort that out. There's a lot of work to do. Oh, well, not a lot of work, but you know, there's some work to do. Next showroom, we'll go to market, we'll sell at a discounted price, but it will sell regardless. Right, let's grab these guys, push them out. Do with a refinish as well. It's a little bit on the. It is a matte finish. It's designed to be a matte finish. Might just give it a light sand and maybe one little coat, or not. I might just burnish it. It's a nice finish. I might just give it a nice burnish with a bit of denim. I might bring some sheen back. One string stuck. There's always one. Place hard to get. Hoodie, what's going on? You like this one? Mav, what's happening? Yeah, they're a little bit old. I always put new strings on it every month or two, Dana, regardless. They do rust, they do pick up moisture, they do age. This has been played, not too much, just kept in tune. It's always good to keep it in tune, not just leave it lying around. And they've just picked up a lot of, they're starting to get a bit corroded, so they've been on there for a year or so. So normally I do rotate them a lot quicker, get them changed over. These are locking tuners, aren't they? No, they're not. Okay. Just clear these guys off and put some new strings eventually on there. What I want to do is clean this guy up first. Use a bit of a clean. Okay. Fretwork is required. We're going to pull the neck off this guy and do it properly. There's also some cleaning up I want to do with the neck. There's some scratches I want to just sand out. Just little flaws I want to finish and get it spick and span, as they say in the industry. That's the technical term for it. Terry will tell you, she knows all the technical terms. Isn't that right, Terry? Spick and span, I think it's the term. Let's grab our drill and just take that stuff off. Where is that drill? It's up here. Nice tight fit, which is what we like. Okay. Really good tight fit on this neck. I want to clean up a couple little spots here, give this another coat. I'm going to take these tuners off and then we're going to do this neck work. We're going to put the body away for now. Let's focus on the neck. Dana likes it. It's a sexy guitar, Dana. I'm telling you now. It oozes sexualization. That's the technical term for it. It oozes sexuality. It's a sexual beast. That guitar, very sexy. Okay, let's get these tuners off. Woody-doody-doo. Where's my thingy-me-bob? I'm looking for my little screwdriver. Here it is. Found you. Now, I need a box because Terry doesn't want me to lose anything. Isn't that right, Terry? Am I right, Terry? Don't lose anything, she said. Get a box. Stop losing stuff. Screws out. Let's loosen these guys up. Where are the little spanners that do the trick? Too big. Too small. Just right. Tom, what's going on? Nancy Wilson. Well, yes, she's a very good guitarist and she was a pretty lady in her younger days. Not that she's not a pretty lady now, she's actually a very classy older lady. Not my type though. Tom's type, but not mine. But I get it. Great guitarist. She's awesome. Awesome singer too. Great muser. Those Wilson sisters are awesome. Heart. Very, very good artists, and they were beautiful to boot. Look, Terry, gold things in a box so we don't lose them. This nut is good, but it does need a polish. It's got marks all over it, so I'm going to clean that guy up. I'm going to clean this up and get these frets all sorted. So first things first, let's get the frets smoothed out. I'm going to just place some tape across the middle so I don't scratch the fretwork. I want to get the edges tidied up a little bit. That is a good box. Terry, it's one of the better boxes in my workshop. I thought you cannot compromise on a good box. You need to get the good stuff out. Are you with me on that? Can you dig it? Can you dig what I'm at, where I'm at? Just take that off. Now I can just center that, expose the ends. It's mainly to stop the big scratches and gouges in the middle, because I'm going to use... We are picking up what you are putting down. Who is? Keith Richards. Oh my God. Keith Richards. What did he say when he fell out of a tree in Fiji and almost died? He said, if I knew I was going to live this long, I would have looked after myself. He's been pickled for 50 years or more, and the thing that almost takes him out is falling out of a coconut. What is a guy his age doing climbing coconut trees in Fiji to impress some young lady he was with? Right. Good on you, Keith. Just going to give this a light run. That's a lot better. It's a lot better. Doesn't need much, just a little tiny shave. There's been a little bit of shrinkage, a little bit of movement, but it's okay. Just making sure there's no tips. I want to get it, and I've improved my fret working, so I want to really just touch that up and make it pristine. Pretty good. Good. That's why I put the tape on. It does slip sometimes. Okay, let's put a new bevel on it at this higher angle. Nice. Okay. He's very good. I love the fact that, Tom, that he tunes his 5-string telly to banjo tuning. Nothing fancy about the Stones riffs, but they're very, very recognisable and, of course, very soulful. Some of those riffs, very catchy indeed. Okay, we've got beautiful bevels now, clean, very good. Take this tape off. We're going to check these frets. Oops. Check the levels, make sure nothing's popped up, nothing's sprouted. It's good. It's good. Very good, very level. No fret sprout. That one's a bit high. Give that a tap just in case it's popped. What do you know? Still a little bit high. I'll level that. A little bit high on the end there. I might just give it a light sand. Couple little spots. Just going to improve that. Let's take this up. Let's give this a nice light level. Very, very light. Feral cats. You know what we do to feral cats here, Dana? You can imagine. Can you imagine? I'll leave it with you. I'm not going to say because I don't want to make you cry. Feral cats are a big problem in Australia. Really big problem. They don't stand a chance if you come across them. They kill a lot of native wildlife here, and they're not wanted. Ferals. Normal cats are bad enough when people don't bell them and people let them run riot, but the ferals, they've got to be dealt with, unfortunately. We just lose too much wildlife. I know, it's sad, but you know what? That's one of those sad things about life. Unfortunately. And I know you're all cat people. I had a cat once, only once, and I loved him. He was good. But I understand what's going on with some of these ferals, and it's not good. And I do appreciate cat owners that really, really are responsible and make sure that their cats are in at night and not out killing possums and native lizards and native mammals. And getting hurt themselves. I know it's not their fault at all. Of course not. Well, Tom, if you were thrown out if you were domesticated and then thrown out in the bush, you become a pretty, that survival instinct would kick in, right? Those things, they're phenomenal creatures and they're so good. Their hunting skills are phenomenal, but they've got to survive, man. I get it. I get why they get like that. And some of the feral cats that we've got in Australia, I've seen feral cats around the farm. Seriously, they're probably about 50 pounds. They're like a small bobcat, but they're not. They're just tabbies that have gone wild, maybe a second generation out in the bush. Man, they're big. They're big and they're nasty. You do not want to go near them. You want to make sure you dispatch them very quickly with whatever means you choose to use. They're not safe things, that's for sure. Whew. Maybe you can call, maybe you can call someone to just come and deal with her, take her away, or you probably don't want her to be dispatched or disposed of, though. You probably want her to survive. I don't know if they save feral cats there in America. They don't here. They're just not worth it, unfortunately, because they are unloved and they're very wild and they're untamed. Hence the term feral, just like the mods here on this chat. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. If you can make something of her, that's fine. Good luck to you. I wish you well. Don't look at me. I'm the wrong guy. I've got a way to deal with them, and yep. Unfortunately, sometimes you've got to do what you've got to do. This tape is sometimes sticky and it doesn't want to tear. Tear it along. We get beautiful rosewood, typical light brown, you know, forest grain, very, very nice rosewood, golden colour, golden hue to it. Not too dark. We're going to oil it, give it a little bit of lemon oil just to give that a bit of a drink after I polish it up. Let's get these frets sorted out first, though. go. Certain postures and sounds help. Ha! Tom, you're a wild man at heart. That's why the cats know it. The ferals know it. You're a bush boy. You hang around in the forest. You hang out in the forest sometimes, out in the sticks. Ha! And they can sense it. That Tom, he's a Tom cat. Get it? Get what I did then? See what I did there? See what I did there? Did you get that? Did that register with you? Yes, I bet it did. Cat whisperer, that's what he is. Cat whisperer. Exactly. I don't whisper at cats, I yell at them. Ha! Leave that fish alone! Get away from those birds. Stupid things. The wild ones, not the good ones. The neighbour's got a really nice cat next door. She's really cool. Buddy likes her. He looks at her and he wants to go over, but I don't think she'd like him. She might scratch him, so I don't let him go because he's a big wuss. She's a good kid, though. She comes out in the evening and she just stands in the driveway and just has a little look around, doesn't get, and then she goes back in and she's cool. She doesn't need to be outside. She spends the day outside in the sunshine and she's good. She's a good little kid. She's a good little kid. Beautiful little girl, too. Beautiful colours, brown and white and black, like a tricolour. Really, really cute. I don't know what their names are, what they're called. Dana, you would know that, what those tricolours are. Oh, Terry, Buddy is the sweetest dog, and I'm just saying because he's mine or he's a boxer. Boxers are pretty special anyway. They're pretty dopey, and they're pretty, friendly. But he's the soul from another planet. The guy is the cutest and softest and kindest little thing you would ever meet. Even if you're not a dog person, Buddy would make you a dog person, as long as they can all be like Buddy. He hasn't got a bad bone in his body. He is so submissive to every other dog. He just wants to be friends. He just wants to play. Not a bad bone in his body. He's amazing. My previous girl, Shadow, was really sweet too. But if a dog came her way, she would have to ensure that they knew that she was the alpha. There was no way they weren't going to get away from a scrap. And then it would all end and there'd be fun and games, but she always had to have that scrap. Not him. He's a great dog, Dana. He is. Yeah, Calico. Yeah, the Calico cats. That's exactly right. It's probably like Terry. That's what the neighbour's got. She's so sweet. What a beautiful cat. And she's so well-natured. Is yours well-natured too, Terry? Your Calico? I'm finished with this guy. Pop that away. What I need to do is level this guy now, just lightly. I'm just going to pop a little bit of blue on there. Just take a little bit off and then just redress those ever so slightly. Mostly. Okay, well, at least you're honest. You've got to be honest. Sometimes the cat's a pain in the butt. I get it. They got her in the parking lot at Walmart. They're okay, Tom. Sometimes with a bit of humidity, this has been sitting around a lot. And sometimes with a bit of humidity, you get what's called fret sprout. One end sort of pops a little bit, the timber moves, and if you could imagine a piece of land where there's a fault line between two pieces of land, you could either shear that way and create an earthquake that way, or they can push together and push up and create a mountain range. Sometimes wood moves and it pops the fret, just a fraction, a thousandth of an inch, but it's enough to create a little buzz. So I'm just going to give them a light little sand, level them square again now that I've tapped them all in, make sure that they're settled and set. That's what causes it. Fret sprout is common. If you use your guitar all the time, it's less common. If you get it serviced all the time, obviously you're not going to ever see the problem. But this has been lying around for a while, so about a year or so now. And I'm going to get it ready for market. So I don't want it to be substandard. I want it to be sweet as, and I only have to go very lightly. Especially down the back here where you've got the pressure from the screws on the bolt-on neck. The last 4 or 5 frets sometimes create a hump because of the pressure. It sometimes pushes that fretboard, gives it a little bit of a rise, unseen to the eye, but you can feel it. And that would sometimes raise those, and you might get some buzz up here in the higher end if you play up this end. But generally what we do is we sand these a little bit more in what they call a fall away. It sort of drops away so that the string never actually, if they do come up, they're still lower or the same height as the upper frets here. A little bit of a fall away. And once the blue's gone, I know that they're all level and we're good. Looks pretty good. I'm just going to check them now, make sure there's nothing high up this end. There were a couple of high ones here, but I can see I flattened them out. Okay, let's check those. Grab a little rocker, double check the heights. Good. As expected, nice and flat. This was our first problem here, that's gone. That's gone, that's good too. That's really good as well. I think we've addressed the issues, so it should be nice and flat and nice and level, which means we can go really, really low with the action and get a really nice action as well without any buzzing or any fretting out. It's good. They're all good. Happy with that. Good. Good. No rocking there. Just a little bit there. Little flat bar. Sometimes I use it to go that way and just keep it focused on a couple of frets. And these are the ones that I normally sand a fall away on. There we go. Better. That's good. Okay, we're good to crown these now. So let's crown them. Mark them out. I always like to touch up, do some fret work on guitars just to keep me practicing and getting better at it as well. I'm making my fret ends nice and neat. I've improved those out of sight. I used to be a little bit on the wild side. When I say wild side, I wasn't as consistent with my shaping as I should have been, but I was still learning, and it's one of those, fretting itself is an art to itself. It's like, you've got luthiers, and then you've got luthiers that can do frets, and it's every luthier can whack frets in, but to do them really, really well, it takes a lot of discipline and technique and know-how almost as much as, say, carving a neck would, or it's a very, very specific skill set. And things to look out for and things to work on. Okay. Let's grab our jumbo fret file and we'll just crown those. And I always, seeing as we've just sharpened those ends with a nice new bevel, I'm always going to round over the top of those frets as well. So we'll just do a couple of those at 40 degrees. Okay. Just taking that sharp edge off. If you can see that, it actually gives it a little bit of a round end. You probably can't focus. You can see that shiny spot? That's the sharp edge that's been rounded. So just by running that over, it gives it a nice, smooth to the touch feel. Yeah, some buzzing or some fretting out. For example, Tom, if you say you wanted to play the 4th fret here, and you're playing you're playing a D or something, and it sounds sharp, it means that the fret is actually fretting out at the next fret. This is higher, so as you depress here, you're getting the next note up. So that's a dead note there, and then when you go there, it's the same note, and then when you go there, you get the next note. So you know that if I'm pressing there, but the next fret note is the one that I'm hearing, that means that it's actually, that pressure here is fretting it out here, which means this is higher than here. That's why we check every fret in between to see if there's any rocking, and any rocking means there's a high fret. If there's a higher fret here, then anything downstream is going to fret out sharp, up higher. And the other reason is you may not fret out, but it might just create some buzzing if it's too low and there's a high spot that resonating string just rubs against. Hope that helps. Well, it's always good to get the neck checked out, Tom, and make sure that it's straight. Make sure it hasn't got a twist in it that might lift one side of the fretboard up, or a bow in it, or a back bow. You always got to get them checked. Take it down to the local guy. He'll put a straight edge on it, and he'll tell you. And it doesn't cost anything to just check the frets with a rocker and just see if they're level or not. You might be able to even just tap one. It might just be 1 or 2 frets that have raised up a little bit, and you might just tap them back down. You know as a player that it's not fretting correctly. You can sense it, and you can hear it, and you can feel it. So, yeah, you've got to do something about that. My headache's gone, Terry, just so you know. I feel really good now. Because I know I said I would keep it short, but I think I can keep going for a while longer because I'm feeling a lot better. It's relaxing too. I used to dread fret work, but now I find that if I just take my time, it's actually quite therapeutic. There's a little bit of focus involved, but it's pretty meditative in a way. Especially if you put some music on in the background and just chill. Put on a track and just listen to some songs or sing some songs or whistle as you work or something. It can be quite relaxing. Yeah. last step before we polish them is to just take a needle file to the corners and make sure there's no little burrs left over that you might be able to feel as you slide your hand up and down the neck. There's nothing worse than feeling a rough edge or a spiky edge near a fret. Meditating qualities and sounding. Terry, you know what? You're right. I should just take the same attitude. And you know what? If I do take my time like Hank does with his supreme, superb, masterful sanding, I'd be a happier person all up. I reckon you're onto something there. You may have noticed that I mark the frets with a Sharpie twice. One is to mark the surface and then you have a visual on when everything's level. In other words, when you take that layer off across the board and it's consistent, you know they're all roughly at the same level. The other reason is to get a thin line. You start off with the whole, once you flatten them, you mark the flat surface, and as this domed file crowns it, that flat surface or fat surface line becomes thin until you get a very thin line down the middle, and that's where I stop, because that tells me there's a peak there now, like a roof peak. So the crown has been put back in the fret. I just keep going until I just see a very hairline, fine line. You can't really see it there, but on that camera, but that's what I'm aiming for. All right, I'm going to finish these 5 here, and then I'm going to take a break for a minute and have a glass of water, catch up with the chat, be a little bit social with you guys. Good. Last one. Okay, we're good. They're all done. We'll check those again now. I'll have a break first. I'll have a glass of Vasa. Need to fill that up. Back in a sec. All right, how are we going, guys and girls? Cheers, big ears. Here's looking up. You know what? Oh, that's good. Is Greg in the house? Orby! What's happening, brother? Thank you for being here. Welcome on in. Give him a big shout out, guys and girls. Greg, Orbiter Guitars, fantastic human being, loves his rock and roll, loves his Zen, loves Motorhead, all those good things. Ha! Welcome on in. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for being here. You've been busy. That's good, mate. That's good. What we've got here is, I've done a couple of things, so let me show you. We've got the final coats on this pickguard that I made out of myrtle. You can see that there it is there. Looks like walnut, but it's not. It's myrtle, and that's to go on that super strat. We've got that guy oiled up. She's drying. The body itself, looking good. Looking good. We've got the final coats on there now. We might do one more coat on the top. There's that satin finish on that guy. Let's see if I can get you to look at that. There you go. So we've got a bit of satin on there, and we've got a nice high satin on the back there. Still a little bit wet. That's a nice finish. Beautiful edges, looking good. That faux binding looks really good. So we got that guy sorted. The blue guy is got candy coats on it now, and it's just curing for a day or two. It's only UV. It's only poly, so it shouldn't take too long. I'll bring that down and show you that guy. Okay. So the top is done. There's the candy coats on that one there. And there's the back. Nice and shiny and all reflective and wonderful. So that guy's pretty much ready to go. We're going to put that guy together soon. It's all happening. It's all happening, my friend. That's what. Not bad for wipe-on poly, I must say. It took me a week or two, but you know what? The result's pretty damn impressive. And I thank B. Bumstead for his advice. And I thank you as well for advice you've given me over the years about finishing. I couldn't do it without you guys. You guys are awesome and you know it. And if you don't know it, you should know it. So lift your game and get to know it. Otherwise, I'm going to be very upset. Ha! Just trying to pop these down and settle them so they don't spin into each other. I'll just turn that the other way. There we go. Okay. All right, so that's what we're doing. And now we've got this guy here. I'm going to showcase this old tigery guy. You remember this beefy offset monster. I'm going to showcase this guy at an upcoming fair, an upcoming market, and I'm just going to give that a big clean up because it's been sitting around. Put it in a case. I'm also just polishing up the frets, getting them rechecked, making sure everything is hokey dokey, and we're going to get that guy going and playing well and ready for market. I've got 2 commissions that are done and boxed and ready to go, and between now and New Year I probably won't be making any new guitars unless I get a commission out of the blue, but we've got 3 or 4 that I need to maintain and get them up to the next level, if you know what I mean. So I always review them, my builds, especially the ones that I've had in storage, because they do shift. They do move a little bit. There might be some a fret that pops, a little bit of rust on a string, stuff like that. You know, you gotta check them. Total coats on the top, Tom. On the blue one, you mean? The blue one's got 12 coats on the top now, hand wipe on, and the last 2 have been glassy, so we're there. The back's got about the same. Yeah, the poly's okay, man. Look, is it 100% perfect like a spray painted like Nifty would do with a 2K poly in a booth with $1,000 guns? No. Is it good enough to hold up and say this looks glassy and beautiful? Yes. It's not flawless, but it's not anywhere near imperfect, so it's good. Yep, I have 10 more than I've got to finish up and get shipped out, but some of the finished others are getting close. I hope to get them all mailed out. Yeah, good girl. Excellent work. I'm not a factory. Yeah, that's right. I'm not a factory. It's handmade, and and sometimes it's got to look handmade without it being handmade, if you know what I mean. It's got to be neat. It's got to be sharp, but it's not CNC sharp, right? And but it's as good, and the important thing is they've got to play. If you can play them and they feel good, ask Orby. He picks up a guitar, he doesn't care. It might look good, but if it plays well, he's gonna love it, and that's what you want. Okay, let's get back to this. I'm going to do the edges now with the. I'm going to just check for any burrs, take this off, and polish this guy up. And clean this neck up a little bit. There's a couple little scratches and things I want to fix up. give that another coat, and then we're good to go. I've got to also polish this guy here. There's a little bit of a stain on the nut. I don't know how it got there, so I'm going to give that a light sanding, and I'm going to hit that with 400, and I'm going to just check those slots and make sure that none of that gunk has gone in there and clear those out. The action on this was quite good, so I expect to get it. That's really flat now. That's really good. I expected to get it even better. So let's get the diamond tip or the little sharp needle files, and let's just turn those burrs over and make sure there aren't any. All about the feels, Orby. It's like watching Orby, everybody. It's all about the feels. You're watching the Orby doing his thing and you go, man, it gives me the feel goods. That's what it's all about. Okay. I'm going to grab a really sharp file, something with a really, not a razor edge, but a pretty fine edge. And the reason is, you've got to get right in, man. You've got to get right into the corner. I always aim for this flat side, where the flat side meets the edge, that perpendicular little 90-degree angle. Get that in there at 90 firstly, like that, so you're up flush against it. Then I roll it slightly over and out at 45. So I'm matching the bevel, but what I do is I dig in with the bottom edge into the edge of the fretboard where the contact is with the fretboard on that fret, and I just lightly roll and close that off. What that does is it rounds off any little burrs that might be there. So I start there and I roll that wrist over and close over it like that. What I will do is take this tape off so I can get really close, and then I can polish that. So let me take the tape off. I've done an Orby. Orby, genius, my friend. I love the way you showed me how to do this. I don't know why I didn't think of something so simple myself, but it makes a hell of a difference. The Orby wings, I call it, the wings of simplicity and speed and efficiency. Ha! The Orby wings. They're the ones. The Orby method, that's it. We've got to have a command for that, Dana. Is there a command for Orby method? Orby wings or exclamation wings or something like that? Look at that. It just comes off. And it helps strip it down quickly. Like that. That's so good. How good is that? Look at this. It's like childproof. Even an idiot like me can do it. That's so good. Wow. In one hit almost. A couple little pieces broke off. That's okay. Makes light work of it. Yeah, it's a good trick, man. It is one of the best. That's in. If you had a top 5, a little magic bag, a little magic Luthier Guitar Man bag, that would be number 1 in the Luthier bag of tricks. I'm telling you now. Number 2 would be carry 12K. I know Rage wouldn't have it in his bag, but that's number 2. But number 1's the tape, the Orby method. Very important. Look at those little guys looking good now. Nice little rounded ends. Let's get this guy dressed up. So let's check the burrs. They look pretty. See, they're sharp, but they're not digging. They're not cutting. But the edges are sharp because we have reground those down. So let's just round those ends over. We did round over with the crowning file. So that top section of that dome has got that round over, but the bottom edge where it joins doesn't. So we're just going to tidy that up and join the two. And you get a nice little round piping around that guy. If I could see, my cameras aren't good enough to focus on that. If I could focus on that, you can see there, hopefully, how you can just see it's a little round, perfectly rounded edge from end to end, and that allows for a smooth transition when your fingers slide there. You cannot even feel them. It's all wood, but if you did happen to hit a fret while you're fretting something, it's not going to cut your fingers. Orby loves his fretwork, and Orby's fretwork is really good, and as is Jerry's. Jer's is good too, so I always watch what those guys do and always learn from them. I always double check it too by just going perpendicular and feeling if I can feel any of the little T-bar sticking out. Sometimes you rough it, you move them, and the T-bar pokes out a little bit. You've got to check that and see if there's any sprout. There isn't any. So, but the way we do that is we just run this guy around and over, and then just check, flush. Just a couple of strokes. That's all it takes. Underappreciated by me. Oh, look. Carvin's neck through blanks were really nice. Yep, absolutely. They had some serious, dude, they had some serious axes, those guys. Carvin were like, take me to the 90s and the 80s and the 90s. Those Carvins, man, every shredder had one. How good were they? And they looked out of this world as well. Like style for days. Fun guitars. Jacksons were my favorites. Back in the 80s, in the metal days, like early Metallica and, Motorhead and those days, Orby, tell me if I'm wrong. Those neck through Jacksons, man, how good were they? The V's and the Explorers, they were sensational. Yeah, they were awesome. I love the V's. I love the Explorers. I did make a Explorer for a commission, a raw Queensland Maple Explorer. I'll get some photos for you if you like, Tom, and I'll post them. It was quite a good build, and he loves it. It's one of his favourite guitars, and he uses a lot of Gibsons. But he never had an Explorer, and he always wanted one, so I made a custom for him. He loved it. He loves it. He still uses it. And I kept it all natural, just with an oil finish. I think it was polyurethane, maybe. No, I can't remember the finish. I think it might have been poly. I'll have to dig out the photos. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. It may be on my Instagram, but I'll get some photos out. I'll post some up. And of course, once we hit these with the paper, those ball ends just get really nice and shiny, and there's no scratch marks or anything on them from the file. And they just pop, the little ends pop like little shiny chrome pinballs, like little pinheads. They're really good. It's a good way to do it. Lisa, what's going on? Where were you? What's going on? We were earlier today. Well, we weren't early, but I think have the times changed there, guys? They probably have, haven't they? Are we closer together now? Is it earlier there for you? That's that end done. They look pretty good. Let's go this end. I'm going to clean this guy up. It's a beautiful rosewood neck, rosewood fretboard. It's really gorgeous. Beautiful, rich colour. Gorgeous reds and browns, chocolates. Typical rosewood, but there's something beautiful about rosewood. Even the classic-looking rosewood boards on an old Fender or an old Gibson, they look and they play and they sound phenomenal. The tone, but they're a beautiful board to feel. I think my favourite guitar, my number 7 Telly with a hot humbucker, it's got that maple neck on it now, and it has got, I think, an ebony fretboard. That's a good combo. I really like the ebony on that Telly. It really, and especially with a hot humbucker, Greg would appreciate this. You get those darker tones. It's really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. Dana, that's good because you never get any sleep, girl. You know what's pretty about a guitar? I love rosewood combined with mother of pearl. If there's ever a classic looking aesthetic with stringed instruments, whether it's an acoustic or an electric, you cannot go past pearl dots on rosewood. It's just elegant and it's beautiful and it's classical and it's just you can't top it, you know, for all intents and purposes. You just can't. You say just go with it because it's just stock standard bulk industry standard, but it's just a beautiful standard. A lot of people don't feel that way, but I'm sure a lot of them do. I do. I've actually learned to appreciate just the simple things like white dots on a beautiful fretboard neck. It's just something else. Leslie's here. It's only 1:25 a.m. for you. Leslie, is that earlier for you? I hate it that you're up that late, my God, but you are a trooper. Absolutely. You're a champ. Ha! Fall back an hour, not a day. Okay, we're done. Let's polish this up. Let's get these guys polished, then we'll get some oil on this guy because I need to actually sand out a couple little scratches here. A couple little scratches, and then we'll get another, we'll give it a good oil in. Okay, let's firstly polish these up. Terry, what are we doing? We're using 400. We're going to scuff this guy up a little bit. I want to clean this nut too, so I'm going to just quickly lightly touch on that nut. Seems to be some residue or something on there. That's better. What I will do is just double check the height and the depth of those, because we have leveled this out slightly. I want to make sure it didn't change the action too much. I don't think it will. These are cut pretty low. No, that's pretty good. It's exactly where it should be, so we didn't go down too far. That's good. We just redomed them basically, but kept most of the height okay. Terry, are you getting prepared? Are you prepping, Terry, for the big guns to come out, the micros? Because you love the micro mesh. Don't pretend you don't. Ah. 800 belongs in there, but you're wrong. Look, it could. 800 could. 400, but I go to 600. I go 400, 600, 1200. Just to get those sort of scratches off there. And then I pretty much just polish with the other BS high numbers. They don't really do anything other than just polish. I mean, they do, but most of the damage is done with files in the 400. I mean, we use 250 at a level, and then 400 to clean that up. What I'll do is I'll check the levels once I sand these lines off. They should be fine. Really good. Quickly check those levels just one more time. They should be fine. Yep, they're all good. Flat as a tack. Right down the edges. Nothing there rocking or moving. Very good. Yeah, we're good. Okay. I'm happy with that. Let's get on to the 1200. Sorry, the 1200. I'm going to go to 1200. That's fine. This is pretty smooth anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Do the nut as well. Get that nut cleaned up. Get in those slots and just clean them out. Got a little rub on each side. Good. All right. Micro mesh time. Terry, what do we got? First one's first. Busy, busy. Nifty, get in there. 1,500, Terry. That's exactly right, Terry. Let's get 1,500 out. Where's our box of tricks? Box of tricks! Right, let's go. Now we're cooking with microwaves. 1,500. Next. Woof. 1,800 green. The box of organised stuff, the treasure box. Terry loves it. It's all organised. I've never been this organised in my life. Right. Right, next. Whew. 2,400 charcoal. All right. This guy. We could stop here, Terry. This is done. Seriously. I could play this now. Whew. Looking good. Starting to get there. Keep going. No. 3,200. Baby poo brown. Okay. Baby poo brown it is. Nut's nice and shiny now. It's cleaned up nicely. Let's go. looking good, looking real good. Ow. Okay. Right, next. Terry's favourite. Hang on a second, let me take off this jumper because it's warm. Whew. Okay, that's better. Right, what have we got? Purpley. Not purpley. Red wine. 3,600. It's good. Next, 4,000 teal. Lisa, where is she? Is she here? She's around. Oh. How you doing, Lise? What's going on? Present as always. Good that nut now, that's really, really improved. Cleaned up nicely and getting a bit of shine in there now. Yeah, it's really cleaned up nicely. There's a lot of gunk on there, I don't know what it was. Anyway. Next! $6,000 purple. The vacuum is almost here. Huh. Very funny, Tom. Purple haze. Okay, Lisa's done. Next. Blue. Blue. You're salty today. Why, Lisa? What's going on? Oh, that's so shiny. That is so shiny. We don't even need to go to 12K. Blue is the best. I blame Van Walen again. It's oiled, Tom. It's got a couple of coats of oil. It's we can burnish that. It's very thin. You can see there's a little bit of a satin finish there. Probably about 2 coats. I'm going to sand a couple of little scratches here and there, clean it up, and give it one more coat, just a light coat, and then probably just rub that back and burnish that with a bit of denim tomorrow. Just get it really rubbed down, and it's as glassy as silk. It's really glassy to feel. I like a glassy neck. It doesn't have to look shiny to feel shiny, as you know. But raw, I never leave them raw because I want them sealed so that moisture doesn't get in there. But it's either 1 or 2 coats. And that's about as raw as it gets with me. Blue. Getting blue done. It's sassafras too. Lisa likes sassafras. I whisper when you say. Okay, lucky last. Here it comes. What is it? Terry's got the vacuum cleaner going in ahead. 12K. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Oh. The back of the neck. The back of Lisa's neck, I'm not sure. Natural or oil, that's very funny. Whoa, look at that. Shiny as anything. Shiny as anything. Where is it? Look at that nut. Glisten like gold. Glisten like gold. Smithers glistens like gold. Smithers. Oh. Let's get some oil on here and just clean this up. I'm not going to oil the neck now. I'm really exhausted. I'm going to go take a break. But I'm going to just get this guy lemon oil just to show you the colour of that board nicely. Really pretty. The difference. Look how beautiful that rosewood is. Pretty as. This is mainly just to wash any soot and dirt off those micro meshes. The metal does tend to bring off some soot, some dirt, grime, whatever you want to call it. And you can see that. It's beautiful. Just a very straight grain, but very nice. Okay, see the sides. Really nice. Like I said, there's something about rosewood and white dots. They look pretty good. That's pretty reflective. That's nice and shiny now. That's looking good, ready to go. Whew. Let me catch up with the chat, see what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Lisa's having kittens. Fine. It looks brand new. Dana, it's as good as new. Absolutely. Tom's always pushing boundaries and crossing lines. We know that. Ha! Crossing the state line, as they say. So there we are. That's it there. I'll grab the body. Clean this guy up now. That goes in like so. It's a nice fitting neck. It's a beautiful neck. It's nicely in there. No screws and it sits in there. Pretty good. There we have it. So that neck, look at the difference already. What a difference already. Right, I'm just going to clean this guy up. grab a tissue, a rag, dry rag, not the oily rag. Just get those polished up. That gold looks really good. I'm going to pull these saddles out and clean each one individually. Let me grab a screwdriver. Whew. I'll just clean each one individually and then screw it back in. And we'll re-intonate this once we string it up with tins. Good now. Nice and clean. Let's get these saddles out. Saddle up. Damaged spring. Just throw that away, replace that spring with a spare spring. I've got some spare springs here. Grab those out of the box. bear with me. I'm trying to find a black string. I just put them away the other day, and Terry will tell you that every time I put something away, what happens, Terry? I lose it so badly. We'll find it. Aha! I knew it. I knew I found it. I knew I had it somewhere. Rascally rabbit. Rascally rascal. Rascally whiskily wascally. Whiskily. Trim that a little bit on the long side. Okay. Bob's your uncle. Perfecto. Terry, what did she say? What did the cleaning lady say? The right position. So intonation for these, what we do is we string up the guitar, we tune it, open tuning, so you tune the bass E string to E. Then the way I do it is I go up to the 12th fret, which is where the second octave starts, and I play a fretted note on that string on the 12th fret, or a harmonic. Now the note itself will either be sharp or flat, and then you adjust this back if you want to flatten it, or shorten it if you want to sharpen it if it is flat, until the two match. So every time you move the saddle, you retune the open string, play the 12th fret, and once they're in tune, you know your intonation is right. So you can play a note down at the bottom, the first octave, and play the same note above the 12th fret, and it will sound in the correct pitch, albeit one octave higher. But you won't be flat or sharp. So you adjust these by half turns, and then you just retune the open string and then play the 12th fret on that string and see if the two are in sync, or if one is sharper or flatter, you adjust accordingly. Lengthen to sharpen it. Sorry, to flatten it. No, yes. And shorten the string by moving the saddle forward to sharpen it. So we're just going to put these in temporarily. Once we string it up, we'll set the intonation. I'll show you how that's done. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It's half the scale, that's right. But sometimes, depending on the thickness of the string, and you may have a slight sharpness or and also the temperature of the strings too, they will stretch. It's best to do it, to set it, play it for 10 or 15 minutes vigorously, really bend and pull things out and stretch them, especially if they're new, and then leave it for a while, go back, recheck it, intonate maybe the next day after a day of playing it. you'd always check it before you, but once you set it, it's pretty much done. And if you use the same strings, then hypothetically speaking, every time you tune it, it should be in tune and not need to be intonated every time, but I always double check. That's why you always see saddles on acoustics, they're always set angled, so the bass side is always longer than the treble side, because the bass string is thicker, so it needs to be longer to stay intonated, in tune. Usually the E and the B strings are a lot shorter, and the E and the A and the D are usually pushed back. That's why saddles are like angled, never flat on an acoustic, they're always angled with the short end at the treble side. It's all physics and mathematics, absolutely. So tomorrow I'm going to clean that neck up a little bit, give it a coat. I might do that this afternoon. Tomorrow we'll put it back together again and sample this guitar and see what these 59, they're based on the PAF 59s. These are Mr. Glynn's Integrity pickups. They're based on the Gibson 59s. They're a warm, vintage sounding humbucker. You can get some really nice tones. We'll play a little bit tomorrow and see what it sounds like. I want to set the action on it and make sure she plays really well so that we can ship this girl along, if you know what I mean. This is the same shape as the Purple Heart giveaway, that nifty one. Same staggered G6. Exactly the same shape, just a different material. Man, this is like the longest thread in the world. It's all the way in. Okay, clean this up. Let's try and get the saddles back in. We'll leave it like that, we'll set it up tomorrow. Check the back of this guy. Gold hardware on this one. Little bevel around the edges. You've got that big bevel there. It's based on an SG, but it's got staggered horns, and it's got a bit more of a fender, flatter backside. An SG is a little bit rounder, but oh yeah, it's similar. But these staggered horns I prefer to the same level SG. They're quite round, very, very round, very wide. And it's a bolt-on, of course, neck. Yeah, it's a nice model, the G6. There's our textured looking silky oak, or what they call lacewood. And there's a matching piece of Queensland flame Queensland maple, like the front. Bit of wooden block in there to keep the pins in, just for a bit of a contrast. And that's that guy there. Let's have a look and see who's on. That's pretty much it, guys and girls. I'll be back again tomorrow. So thank you for being with me. Yes, they can be, Tom. They can be used in any body, but mainly the 57s and the 59s are used on the traditional studios, Les Paul Studios and Les Paul Customs, and or not so much the Customs because they've got 3, but Les Paul Studios and your vintage series. They can be put on hollow bodies, absolutely. ES335s, they could have them as well. Yeah, so yeah, I'm glad you like it. Yeah, it is a nice guitar. Yeah, I'm feeling better, Terry. Thank you. Give my regards to the cleaning lady. I'm going to just see who's on and see if we can raid someone, if there's anyone on. Come on, you. Bear with me, guys and girls. My technology is a little bit challenged, like me. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Sneak peek. Who we got? Is Archie on? He was here earlier on. Jonathan Ong is on. Archie's on. Let's go to Archie because he came and dropped in. Let's raid Archeros because he's a good guy. See you later, guys. 4,000 teal. Tom, no problems, buddy. Anytime, my friend. You make it enjoyable too with your comic relief. It's nice having you guys here, so I hope to see you again tomorrow. Let's go to Archeros now for those that want to hang out for a little bit. Give that guy a little bit of love. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So take care, be good, and look after each other. Catch you then. Bye.